This video will show you the truth on ascension and spiritual awakening. I'm going to share with you 3 ways to ascend your vibration into a higher state of consciousness, which will embody much more of who you really are. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the truth on something that is normally referred to as ascension and what we know about spiritual awakening. I want to share with you some insights that I have of things that I think that really changed my life and things that I think can add value to you as well. Now I'll also share the 3 ways you can go about ascending your vibration the fastest and what you really need to know for this whole process. Now first off, the words ascension themselves may have kind of a terminology that you don't really resonate with, especially if you're more into like the logical side of things. So ascension kind of sounds like something that's just kind of unrelatable in a way. And when it comes to ascension though, let's kind of break this down into something that's very easy to understand. When it comes to ascension, think of it in the form of vibration. Now from a certain perspective, maybe you say, hey, vibration is kind of this weird etheric idea. Vibration is, in physics, everything is vibration. It's a part of who we are. It's just conditioning that makes us think that vibration is something that's kind of weird. It's something that is given a lot of negative connotation, but at the fundamental level, everything we experience in our life is a form of vibration. Now, the things we experience in our life will depend on what we resonate with and what our vibration is currently at. Now, our vibration is a combination of what we think, our vibration is a combination of what we feel, actions we take, perspectives we have about who we are. These all attribute to our vibration. Now, in general, ascension has to do with the raising of your vibrational state of consciousness into a higher realm of understanding or a more expansive realm of understanding. Now, some things that ascension is not. A lot of people, especially on the planet, let me share with you the way I see this process, and if you've never heard of this before, I think this can really help you to understand more about what's going on the planet from a way that's relatable. Now, in general, one thing that is happening on the planet right now, and in this lifetime is happening, is there is a raise in vibration. There is an ascension of who we are, and there is more awareness of who we are than ever before. There are more people waking up than have ever before woken up, and this is attributing to a raise in vibrational state of consciousness. Now in general, the whole planet is going through this at a very subtle level. Now, the reason I say that is because you may look around and be like, not everyone is waking up, but the thing is the planet does not need every single person to wake up for the change to happen. Now, in a general sense, though, there are more people waking up than ever before. There's proof of that by this YouTube channel. The way this YouTube channel has grown, I think that in the future, the information that I share here, that other YouTubers that are my colleagues also share, it's going to be in demand because there are more people waking up to who they are. They're waking up to the idea that they create their own reality, that their thoughts influences what they experience in their life. They're becoming more aware of the spiritual nature of who they are, that they are immortal spiritual beings having temporary human experiences, that if we exist, we always exist, so in a certain way we can start to relax. Now, when it comes to this larger picture, I believe the reason so many people are here right now is to go through this event of ascension. Now, ascension is not necessarily us being here and then ascending out of our bodies into a completely different state. Most commonly, that's what people think ascension is. And they think it's kind of like either the rapture, which is more of a biblical type understanding. It's more of something that we're doing in relativity together. We're all doing this. And there's certain bubbles, I guess you could say. Certain people will ascend their vibrations a little bit quicker than others. However, it's not like necessarily that you're going to be here and then ascend into some light body that has no physicality whatsoever. In general, we are transitioning from something called 3rd density into 4th density. 4th density is more of a dreamlike state where we become aware that we're creating our own reality. We become aware of who we are. We become aware of the connection. We start to more so connect to our heart. And we start to have this connection, this understanding that we are all connected. Now, there's still the experience of having individual type experiences, but there's this underlying nature that we are all connected. And that's what we're beginning to tap into, is this realization. As a collective consciousness, not everybody is coming to this understanding. I know you might look at the government and be like, how is that happening? Everything is falling apart right now. The third density, the old way of doing things, is starting to really fall apart. And what's happening is now we're moving into a fourth density state, which is where things must break apart, and then we can decide collectively where we are going. Now, in the same way we individually create our own reality, think of it like a reality bubble. That's what determines the probabilities of what we experience. Now, if we change how we think, how we feel, how we act, if we change the actions we take, we change our probable futures. Now, in the same way, we are all connected on the planet, and co-collectively, we are creating our probable futures. We're creating the kind of experience from a collective consciousness point of view. So, when it comes to understanding presidential elections and all this stuff, it is decided on as a part of an energetic level as well as a physical type level. Now, the reason things are falling apart is because the old system just simply isn't working anymore. And what we're starting to become more aware of is this nature of who we are as vibrational beings. More and more people every day are having spiritual awakenings. Honestly, it's kind of surprising, just because it's not, and it is. Like, I know that there's this happening, but it's really actually cool because it's people sometimes that I never even assumed would be going through a spiritual awakening. But nonetheless, it is happening. So really what this is this is a remembrance of who we are at a deeper level. This is a remembrance of why we are here in this life, and I strongly believe that this is the best time to ever be alive on this planet is right now. Because there is more transformation that will happen over the next 15, 20, 30 years than ever before has ever happened. We're becoming more aware of who we are. There's this shift in vibrational consciousness that is happening. There's signs of this. There's ways they're able to measure the vibration of the planet and how the vibration of the planet is literally raising. And that as the planet raises, we are also raising as well. And that's why sometimes you may feel that it's bringing up some negative stuff. It's because it's bringing it to the forefront so that we can start to let these things go. And we can start to really be who we prefer to be. And sometimes that's why we have to let go of things that no longer serve. So this vibrational state of consciousness, this ascension, is something that's happening in body. It's something that's happening in a way in a bubble for certain people. So certain people are going through it quicker than others. And as people go through it, it's making more and more of an energy signature in a way so that it builds momentum. So my idea of it is that it's starting a snowball effect. And it will continue to happen, and I believe that there will be, in a way, a spiritual expansion of so many people understanding who they are, taking their power back from giving it away to other people, from giving it away to the government, from giving it away in general, and they'll start to become more aware of who they are. So let me now talk about the 3 ways that you can ascend your vibration the fastest to make sure that you're able to go through this transition in the easiest way and really align with who you prefer to be. Now, the first way to go about this is to have a couple realizations. And that is, like I was saying, everything is vibration. And because everything is vibration, be aware of how you feel in relation to what you are doing. The feeling you have is attributing to your vibration more than you know, more than intellectual ideas. Pay attention to how you feel. And as you start to pay more attention to how you feel, simply decide to feel better a majority of the time. I know it sounds like a funny idea, but really it's a decision to give ourselves permission to be happy. So give yourself permission more of the time. Now this is the thing, we give ourselves permission if X, Y, Z, and Q happens. If all those things happen, then I'll be happy. Instead, give yourself permission to be happy because of X. Just one thing. I'm here. I'm grateful for being alive. I have a roof over my head. Just something very simple. Not, I have a roof over my head, I need my boss to do this, I need my significant other to give me validation. All of these things, those aren't necessary unless you make it necessary. So instead, make it more about your vibrational feeling and pay attention to how you feel. And give yourself permission to just be happy for the sake of being happy. Now, another part of this one I'll talk about is have the realization that you are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Now, I'm not telling you to believe this. I'm asking you to more so just go within. Go within and ask yourself and find out who you are. There's a way you can go about this too, is you can meditate and ask, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You ask that question, you'll eventually start to find the answers. And maybe not from the brain, but maybe from the heart. And maybe you realize that you aren't who you thought you were with the ego. You realize that you are this spaciousness, this consciousness that goes much further outside your body, much further outside your ego than you could ever imagine. And that is who you are. So that's the first way, is having that realization, literally remembering who you are at that deeper sense. The second way is something I learned from Bashar, if you guys are familiar with Bashar. It has to do with following your excitement. The idea behind this is the feeling of excitement is your body's translation that is telling you this is who you are. This is what you want to be doing. This doesn't have to mean that you specifically have the thing you do as a career has to be that. Now, in general, yes, that will assist. But what I'm talking about is go more general first and then let it get to that. So what that means is every moment decide what is the most exciting thing that I can do. And it could be something small, like I'm going to go for a swim. I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to go walk my dog. I'm going to go eat something. Whatever it is, start to just choose to do things because it's a part of your excitement. And you will start to build a powerful momentum that continues to ripple throughout your life. And now excitement doesn't have to be something like, just charged with excitement. Excitement could be a very settled, peaceful feeling. It could be reading a book. You don't have to be really, really excited to read a book. But in general, start to follow your excitement more and it will literally ripple in so many different parts of your life. I believe the reason things in my life are happening so easily for me is because I'm always doing what I love. I'm always creating videos. I'm always editing. I'm always talking to other people. I'm always doing and talking about what I love versus before I was going to a job I didn't really like. And I felt like that was weighing my energy down. But you have to start small and build up from there to really develop powerful momentum. So start to buy into yourself more and start to understand that the more you do what you're really passionate about, the more you are existing in that frame of reference and existing how you prefer to be, because that is who you are. That is your higher self telling you that's what you're meant to be doing. Even if it's something general, let it continue to build. The third way that you can raise your vibration and ascend and go be a part of this ascension is to not engage in 3D ideologies. Now, what is 3D ideologies? 3D ideologies is duality. It's separation. It's them versus me. It's this mentality of polarization. Now, you can be aware of it. So I'm not saying you need to just completely enlighten yourself immediately. You can be aware of the 3D things, the 3D perspectives, but don't engage with it as much. Come at it from a point of awareness. So what else would this mean? Well, what else is 3D type stuff? The news. Being aware that the news, at a certain level, is projecting negativity, especially mainstream news. Maybe there's alternative news, not so much, but in general, 99% of news that is out there is either misinformation, exaggeration, or negative energy. And as you focus on that, you become primed to think that that's the way the world is. When really it's a small sliver that's made to blow up that this is how the world is. And it's not. It's a small perspective of what they want you to think. So start to take your power back by shifting your focus. Pay attention to what you focus on. You can do a small amount of it. You're like, well, I have to remain connected to the world. I can't just be in my own little fairyland. Well, then check the news for a small period of time. But when you check it, do it from a place of awareness and don't react to everything that's happening. Because the more you feed your emotional energy into that, the more that reality becomes dominant. Collectively, co-collectively. So instead be aware of it. But what I recommend is, as least as you possibly can, to watch the news, to watch things that bring down your emotional state of being, because as you do that, it is dampening your own vibration. So what I mean by this is have discernment. How do you feel? Are you around people that are bringing your energy down? If so, don't be around them as much. You may say, well, it's family. Then relate to it in a completely new way. Do it from a point of awareness, not judgment, but start to choose to do other types of things. Be aware of how you feel. This is very important for the whole process. Now, if you want a way to raise your vibration really quick, something where this is something that happened to me, I went from about a 4 or 5 out of 10, which is feeling not so great to mediocre, to feeling a 7 or an 8 out of 10, which is, I was feeling so much better. I literally felt high all the time and I thought the feeling was going to go away, but it never did. It just became a natural set point. I learned how to raise my vibration, and what I did is I made a guided meditation that will show you exactly how to raise your vibrational set point so that you're able to go along this ascension process in a very easy way. That's something you could download for absolutely free. It's going to be in the top of the description box below, and it will help you to make that transition. So in general, there is an ascension that is happening, an ascension of vibration, an ascension of levels of consciousness. And in this life, I believe there will be more transformation than you have ever seen before. I believe that on one side of it, there will be a lot of things that break down. It'll be the political system that's already breaking down. It'll be a lot of structures that no longer serve these 3D ideas, that then we're going to be transcending this duality, going more into a unified type state. It may take time to get there. I'm not saying everyone will make it very fast, but what I am saying is in general, the positivity of the few will outweigh the many, because the power of positive vibration is much more there's much more momentum behind it than even the mass consensus of negativity. Because think about it, positive is something that integrates, negativity is something that separates. Positivity is always more powerful. So that's something I will believe that we will go through, that we are going through right now. Maybe you're just now becoming aware of it. I think that is great. Remember, there's 3 powerful ways that you can raise your vibration. They have to do paying attention to how you feel, choosing to raise your vibration, choosing to follow your excitement, that will start to put you more in alignment with your higher self, with how you prefer to be, and then not engaging in the 3D ideologies, not watching the news, not being around things that bring you down. That will help you to raise your vibration the fastest. So with that being said, I will also be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. So if you want more live interaction from me, if you want to ask me questions, feel free to follow me in the top of the description box, or you'll see it right here or right here. Go ahead and follow me there, and we can have that kind of dialogue as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys like it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little notification here so that you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace and much love.